Hi there folks, it's me Mr. Revolutionary, and I'm bringing you my top 3 favorite Zelda games. And I figured I'd put this list together because I'm a big fan of Zelda. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but actually I am a huge fan, but figured I'd bring this. And you know, a lot of people, when they do top 5 lists or top 10 lists, which this is a top 3, which is kind of weird, I know, but they usually start from 5 and go to 1. And usually I'm sitting around waiting for 1. So I'm going to do things a little different, and I'm going to start from 1 and I'm going to go down to 3. And so my favorite one is Ocarina of Time, which also happens to be the first one I've played. And the reason I like Ocarina of Time so much is just because I like the story. It's a simple story. Of course, I don't really play Zelda for story, but this one's simple and it's exactly what a Zelda story should be. And then the gameplay is phenomenal. It controls really well, even after playing it all these years. A great looking game after all these years too. And yeah, one of the first games I've got for the Nintendo 64. Well, maybe not the first, but I really did like it because it gave me something I've never seen before in a video game. Anyway, the reason I like it the best is because it's open world, but everything feels very close. You can get to, Death Mountain, or you can go to the Gerudo Fortress, or Zora's Domain, or everywhere from Hyrule Field, and it all feels real connected. You can get from place to place real quick. I mean, in a matter of minutes. And even if you can't get to it real quick, you can see everything, so you know just how far away you are from it. Anyway, down to number 2. My second favorite would have to be Majora's Mask. The reason I'm debating between Majora's Mask and another one, but I think Majora's Mask. See, I'm not a huge Zelda fan. I love Ocarina of Time. But Ocarina of Time is really the only Zelda game I really like. As far as the other Zelda games, they're kind of a disappointment. But Majora's Mask is definitely my second favorite. Not only because it's in 3D, which I think adds to the Zelda series phenomenally, but it just has a better feel than the 2D games. But the reason I don't like it is because it feels very monotonous, and I hated having to start the day over every day. And then finding, getting more arrows and getting more rupees, you can get the bank and stuff, but getting more arrows and bombs every time, it felt like a chore, The game is good. I like the game, and the ending's pretty good. But as far as, and I have done almost everything in that game, and there are cool parts, I will admit, but it just felt like a step down from Ocarina of Time. Only 4 bosses, 4 dungeons. There's a whole mask thing, there's a lot of side quests, but my favorite part of a Zelda game was always the boss battles. And so, kind of disappointed me there. Anyway, my third favorite is Oracle of Seasons for the Game Boy Advance. And the reason I like Oracle of Seasons is it's just a great handheld game, and it's been years since I played that game, gosh. It felt fresh and new. There's a lot of stuff to do. You could change the seasons, which really added to the game, I thought. And great bosses. Great final boss. But not a whole lot to say about that one. It's a good game, but it's not great. Ocarina of Time is still my favorite. It's one of the best, I think. Anyway, not a lot to say about that. That's it. 1, 2, and 3. I don't have any gameplay footage of them except for Ocarina of Time, which I figured why bother. But the Zeldas that didn't make my list, I've only played 5 Zelda games. And I know a lot of people say A Link to the Past is their favorite, but I haven't played A Link to the Past. I have the game, I haven't played it yet. But which I'm going to do, but I've got all these other games I'm playing, so. Which is funny. Actually, I'm playing Ocarina of Time again. It's I haven't played it in a long time, and it feels great. Anyway, a couple of other Zelda games I've played. I've only played Legend of Zelda, the first one, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, and Oracle of Seasons on the Game Boy. And reason Twilight Princess didn't make this list is because I'm not a big fan of that game. It could have looked a lot better, I thought. And I know it was a GameCube game originally, but for the Wii, it just, I don't know. It didn't really feel that great. I hated the wolf parts. See, that's the thing, is I liked being Link. I hated being the wolf. I thought it just completely broke up the game. Now, I know other people probably like the wolf, but I don't play Zelda games, so I can be a wolf. I didn't like the dungeons. The dungeons felt terrible. In fact, my favorite dungeon was the water temple, which is funny because everybody, everybody doesn't like the water temple from Ocarina of Time. I love the water temple from Ocarina of Time, even though it confuses people. I thought it was great. I loved fighting Dark Link. That's one of my favorite boss battles of all time. Even though it's not a boss battle, it feels better than the boss battle of that temple. And in Twilight Princess, the water temple, first of all, felt like an actual temple. The fire temple in Twilight Princess, awful. Just poor level design in Twilight Princess. In fact, the best dungeon I found in Twilight Princess was the caves, like the caves on the side that you just explored. I thought that was great, having your lantern exploring the cave. That was my favorite part of the game. Which is funny, because it's not hardly anything, but it brought something new to the table. Like, I've never in a Zelda game explored a side cave before. Even though there was no boss, I thought it was cool trying to get to the end of the cave, before running out of lantern oil. And fighting the creatures and stuff. I didn't like the layout of Hyrule Field. I thought it was just real broken up and real hard to get from one place to the next, and then having to change the wolf in order to go to the next place felt just stupid. I mean, in the other game you played a song, to warp from one place to the next, but at least you get to hear a cool song. I didn't like Midna. Thought that was stupid. The dark world and everything. The enemies were kind of goofy and dorky. I don't know. Anyway, then the first Legend of Zelda. The first Legend of Zelda I like. I do like that game. I just don't put it on here because I felt like it's not that great of a game. I mean, it's good, but it just feels like they could have done more with it. I like the game, I like the boss battles, I like everything about like that, but when I compare it to other games on the system like Castlevania and Mario, which are great games, but it just kind of falls flat. I mean, it's a great game, and I mean, it's just not one of my favorites. And I know other people like it, and I mean, I like it too, but maybe just because I'm not good at it. Okay, anyway, I also want to talk about Skyward Sword, which it's getting great reviews, 10 out of 10 from IGN, 10 out of 10 from like another one, I don't know who else, but like 9.5, and then there's like a 7.5, which everybody's complaining about the 7.5, but I mean, who cares anyway? I mean, why do people complain about reviews? I don't get it. I mean, and not everybody's gonna like the same game. Besides, what's complaining about a review gonna do? Unless the review's just blatantly unfair. But first of all, you should have a guy who likes those kind of games review it, because or a good judge of those games. Anyway, I don't know. But the thing is, I look at Skyward Sword getting all these great reviews, and I look at the game and I think it's the dorkiest looking Zelda game I've ever seen. And I've never played Wind Waker, but I always thought that looked like a dorky game too. It just Twilight Princess was a little dorky too. But I don't know, it just looks dorky. I don't like the style of the game, the art style, so I probably won't get it. Well, actually, never mind, I probably will get it, but I'll give you what I think when I do give you what I think about it when I do get it. I'm not getting the special edition or anything. And everybody says the music's great, but really, I think the Ocarina of Time has the best music ever. But, you know, it's all just my opinion. I mean, my opinion's not going to be, you know, near as good as yours or anyone else's. I'm just more of a fan of the classics, and Ocarina of Time just feels like a classic. I mean, maybe that's because I played it back in the day, but I play other games nowadays that, like Castlevania, I played, gosh, for the first time. Like the first Castlevania I played just, what, 6 months ago or something. And I thought that was an excellent game, and I thought it was one of my favorites from now on. The only thing that really can break a game, it seems, is bad controls. When you go back and play a game with bad controls, that's the only thing that really messes it up. But anyway, I guess I've talked long enough. I think Skyward Sword looks dorky. Majora's Mask was good. Not enough boss battles. I didn't like being Kid Link all the time, because my favorite part was being Adult Link. Oracle Seasons was good. Not a whole lot to say about that one. Ocarina of Time is excellent. My favorite in the series. The boss battles are my favorite, and I would play them over and over again if I didn't have new games, I guess. Anyway, I guess talk to you guys later. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm old and grumpy, then let me know. And if you like what I have to say, well, that's a shocker, but thank you. Anyway, talk to you guys later. See ya.